AITA for not wanting to apologize for being racist and homophobic. Yesterday, a girl who sits next to me started talking to everyone around us about our plans after high school. She then says that she wants to move to South Korea because America is super racist and homophobic. I just want to note that I'm Korean and she's a gay black girl. I told her that Korea is not the place to go then because they're super racist and homophobic, and she told me they weren't because her K-pop idols weren't racist and that apparently they would hold up pride flags during their concerts and comfort their gay fans during video calls. I told her that her K-pop idols literally fake their personalities, and what else are they supposed to do when someone throws a pride flag at them? Or like if a fan is talking about being gay on a fan call that's going to be posted on the internet. Are they really going to say anything homophobic? I told her that her perception of South Korea was off because all her information was coming from people whose actions are controlled by their companies to make the most profit, and in reality, South Korea doesn't even recognize gay marriages and Koreans are super racist. Even I get discriminated against just because I'm Korean American, and it's way worse for non-Koreans. She kept trying to refute it, and I told her that it's her choice and it's not like she needs my approval or something, but she should really do some research. BC going to South Korea to escape discrimination is like going to the US to escape school shootings, and everyone around us laughed. I don't have Insta, but apparently she exposed me on her story saying I was homophobic and racist for saying that, and people were telling me to apologize, but I don't think I even said anything racist or homophobic. I literally just told her the truth. AITA? Edit. I have some people saying that I'm generalizing Koreans. South Korea literally does not recognize gay marriages and it does not protect gay rights. Just recently, there was a case where a same-sex couple was found to be sharing an insurance plan and it was revoked because the South Korean government does not recognize same-sex relationships. It's not a generalized statement. It's the truth that the South Korean government is very homophobic. There is also no anti-discrimination laws based on race and nationality either, and while in the bigger cities, you probably wouldn't face any open racism, you can still find clubs exclusively excluding foreigners. Employment as a foreigner? Unless you're going to tutor English, expect to get rejected almost everywhere. NTA. Who boy is she in for a rude awakening when she moves to SK? America has no monopoly on racist and or homophobic people. That doesn't mean all SK people are. Of course there are non-racist, non-homophobic people there, but it's definitely not the utopia she thinks it is. Like all countries, it has its good and bad points, and people who don't do an honest examination of any potential new living place are setting themselves up for failure and disappointment. NTA. Judging Korea based on a few celebrities' public personas is like saying Britain isn't racist because Adele hasn't tweeted the N-word. NTA. Only because this girl sounds like a delusional Saesong stalker fan, and seems like she thinks she has a chance with Jim and Oppa if she goes to South Korea. She doesn't understand the parasocial relationships that is associated with K-idols and the industry. We truly don't know the personal beliefs and values of our favorite idols because a lot of fans forget that they receive extensive media and press training. Edit. Also, to add, the fact that you're Korean and telling a non-Korean about your homeland and their cultures and her refuting it is absolutely ridiculous. It's as if people are so ignorant to the fact that majority of Asian countries are in fact racist. Being a POC does not automatically mean non-racist. Edit. Grammar. NTA. The person has clearly romanticized the idea of another country. Happens a lot with countries that are very homogeneous. People assume the low amount of issues is due to a forward-thinking society and not the fact that there is little diversity. NTA. You were being honest. I was with a Korean person and them and their family were yikes on bikes on sexuality and race. I know not every family is like this. I have another Korean friend whose attitude is different. You were doing them a favor. NTA. I've lived in Korea for 3 years as a white. No one was ever explicitly racist towards me, but I was once barred from a nightclub. No foreigners. And a black guy. The first was with got called a racial slur by a guy shilling his wares. It was meant in a positive way, but context and understanding were missing. Korea is an extremely conservative society compared to America. Imagine thinking America was explicitly what big American celebrities extolled. NTA. It is dangerous when teenagers and young adults live in a fantasy land. And it is always good to point out reality. You said nothing homophobic or racist. You explained about a culture that she knows only through a highly filtered, artificial context. What's more, you did so in a genuine effort to encourage her to educate herself prior to potentially making a big mistake. If you are racist or homophobic, then you are an asshole and should cut it out. But if you are not racist or homophobic and people call you that solely because they dislike something you say, then do not accept those labels and do not apologize for someone else's decision to wrongfully insult you. Words have meanings. And throwing words like racist and homophobic around whenever you don't like reality destroys those meanings. NTA. You provided an honest view of what things are like in Korea, and frankly she's delusional if she thinks K-pop is a good representation of what Korea is like. You didn't say anything racist or homophobic. NTA. It doesn't sound like you yourself was being racist or homophobic. You were just relaying that the country of South Korea is in fact not as openly friendly as one might deem. Edit. She's a bit of an awe for blowing you up on social media because she didn't like what you said. NTA. You're correct. Koreans can be quite racist and homophobic. Sam O'Keefe has talked about how awful he has been treated BC he's black. Even as a celebrity. And you pointing out the truth doesn't make you racist or homophobic. That's a strange leap. NTA. At all. Even I am aware of the homophobic government in Korea, both north and south. NTA. She's glorifying a culture based on what she sees in a very limited exposure. And she hasn't done any actual research past that. She needs to learn the truth before she decides to move to another country or some other massive expenditure of money and effort. NTA. She's just naive to the reality of South Korea. NTA. Didn't the dead Kennedys make a whole song about how dumb this attitude is? NTA. Someone needed to pop that girl's bubble. There has been maybe videos about how grueling it is for K-pop people, like auditions, routines, their singing, also couching them about how the Western world is. Or go with the flow and tell her that your family in South Korea ride around on unicorns that fart dollar bills. NTA. Unless she's objecting to other things you said that you haven't told us. You just flat out didn't do what you're being asked to apologize for. It's hard to give a sincere apology in that situation. NTA. And your friend who accused you also knows that you are not homophobic or racist. People laughed at your comment and she felt humiliated for her ignorance. NTA. At all. And I'm a K-pop fan. One who also wanted to move to SK at one point. Me. Moving to a whole new country with a language I don't speak. With what fucking money? Lol. Pipe dreams. Parasocial relationships, personas have K-pop fans in such a grip it isn't funny. Celebs have definitely done racist, homophobic shit. Most of them just haven't been caught. NTA. I lived there until recently and you're right. While I loved my time there, you come across people who obsess over idols and wear rose-colored glasses over the BS that occurs. I'm black in the anti-foreigner moment that became prevalent during the height of the pandemic in 2020 was so bad. Itaewon looked like a ghost town because we were being blamed for new cases that weren't even brought on by foreigners. I was kicked out of a hospital and forced to sit outside with my friend when they got injured. I guess she'll give the no black clubs an excuse too. Korea is just like a lot of places where you have things you like and dislike. I would ignore her and stop talking to her. If you have to, introduce her or any other random to the Dive Studios podcasts if they want a taste of the reality of their idols' non-manufactured personalities. But people are going to believe what they want to believe.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.